I thought my hands were getting shaky until I watched the solder slide right off the razor blade. And then I figured out the real problem was a rusty old soldering tip that had seen better days. So instead of blaming my eyesight or my hands, I set the iron down and took a closer look. The tip was dark, rough, and clearly worn out. This is a problem many of us run into after years of use. The good news is you do not need to buy a new iron. With a few simple steps, you can clean the tip and make it work like it used to. First, unplug the soldering iron and let it cool completely so you can work safely. Once it is cool to the touch, loosen the screw and slide the old tip out. You will usually see dark rust and buildup right away. That is what stops solder from sticking. Next, take a glass cup and pour in warm water. Add a good spoon of table salt and stir until it dissolves. This salt water will help break down the oxidation on the tip. Place the removed soldering tip into the cup so the rusty part is fully submerged. Set it aside and let it sit while you prepare the next step. This simple soak already starts bringing the metal back to life. Let me know your state in the comments. It's always great to see how many DIY folks are out there. Now we need a simple low voltage power source, nothing fancy. I use an old 6-volt phone charger that has been sitting in a drawer for years. Plug the charger into a DC power jack so you have 2 clear terminals to work with. Next, take 2 short wires, one red and one white so you do not mix them up. Strip about ½ an inch of insulation from each end. Connect the red wire to the positive side of the DC jack and the white wire to the negative side. Make sure the connections are tight and not loose. This low voltage setup is safe and gives you good control for the next step. Now it is time to clean the tip using electrolysis. Take the soldering tip out of the salt water and lightly sand one small area so bare metal is exposed. This helps the electricity flow. Tie the white wire to the soldering tip so it makes solid contact with that clean metal. Next, wrap the red wire around a piece of solder wire. Do not let the 2 wires touch each other. Place both the soldering tip and the solder wire into the saltwater cup, keeping them separated. Plug the 6-volt charger into the outlet. You will see small bubbles forming right away. That means the process is working. Let it run for a few minutes while you watch the surface of the tip. The rust will slowly loosen and lift off. When the tip looks cleaner, unplug the charger, remove the tip, rinse it with clean water, and wipe it dry. For the next part, prepare a small soldering solution. Cut a few short pieces of solder and place them into a glass cup. Pour in a small amount of hydrochloric acid, just enough to cover the solder. Do this in a well-ventilated area and keep your face back. You will see the solder slowly react and dissolve. This creates a strong liquid flux that helps solder stick again. Set the cup aside and keep it steady until you need it. Now take the soldering tip out of the salt water and disconnect the power. Rinse the tip with clean water to remove any salt residue. Wipe it dry with a paper towel until the surface looks clean and smooth. You should already see the rust is gone. Slide the tip back into the soldering iron and tighten it securely. Plug the iron in and let it heat up. At this point, the tip should look bright and ready to work again. Now it is time to solder the wire onto the razor blade. I dip a cotton swab into the solder solution and lightly touch it to the spot on the blade where the wire will sit. This helps the solder flow instead of rolling away. I place the stripped end of the wire on the blade and bring the hot soldering tip in slowly. You will see the solder melt and grab the metal right away. Hold it steady for a moment. Then pull the iron back and let it cool. The wire should now be firmly attached. Next, solder the wire onto a metal washer. Place the washer flat on a stable surface so it does not move. Dip a cotton swab into the solder solution and touch it to the spot where the wire will sit. Lay the stripped wire end on the washer and bring the hot tip in gently. The solder should melt and spread evenly. Hold it still for a second. Then pull the iron away and let it cool. The wire should be solid and secure. For the final test, solder 2 razor blades together. Lay the blades flat and line them up edge to edge so they stay steady. Dip a cotton swab into the solder solution and touch it along the joint. Bring the hot soldering tip in and let the solder flow between the blades. You will see it grab and bond right away. Hold it still for a moment, then let it cool. The blades should now be firmly joined. Now the soldering tip is clean again and solder flows the way it should. A small fix like this saves time, saves money, and keeps your tools working the right way. If you enjoy simple repairs that actually work, tap like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend who still enjoys fixing things at home.